To destroy it? No. At this point, no. I cannot afford to strip out that resource base. And most of it's actually being produced by the... I'm suffering economically here. I managed to patch things up with, I need religious technology. That's what I need. I don't need any more temporal technology. Don't need any more minerals extraction. I need religious technology. I need to get my nature shrines up and running as soon as possible. That way, I can get my homeworld. I can get my homeworld. And that other thing. I can basically get my systems. Alright, so how much are we getting in trade? Okay, we're getting a fair amount of resources in trade right now. The thing is, we're still... damn it. So energetic music for an empire that is almost stalled out. Ay ay ay. So this is a military base, yeah? Yeah. Which means that it will be primarily concerned with... him. That's just it. That's a military base. Bare bones. It will be useful. Reorder items to top because I want research. Damn it. Come on. Good, our research is currently skyrocketing, which is both good and bad. Because it means that our research wasn't that great to begin with. Considering just how incredibly aggressive I am at researching, that it was just this... that I was only producing barely twice as much more as a neutral empire should tell you something. I was not researching enough. Damn it, troll. Okay, you explore and then cartog this system. Well, I now have a secure power and economic base. So what I'm going to do here is basically send these guys alone and not give a crap about whether they live or die. And not even really care if the AI is really bad at cartography. So explore. This is a really slow game. 44 turns and I don't have a level 20 weapon yet. Well, I must say I am enjoying having another little yet more empty star systems to play with. That's always a good thing to have. Empty star systems can be rapidly colonized and secured. Uh-oh, as opposed to full star systems with Very powerful armadas right next to them. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh boy. Whoop. And have you, let's explore. Alright, so... Okay, we all done? There used to be 12 there, now there's only 2. Where are they go? Oh, they're blockading a star. They're blockading a star, a warp point. Empire News. The Yith Collective, eh? I think that's actually one of my installed races. Hold on a second. Yep. Yeah, it's an installed race. So let's we've never encountered the Yith Collective before. So let's see about them. Okay, so no, not comparisons. Empire report. There we go. One of the first Terrans encountering Yithians remarked that they looked like a creature described by an obscure 20th century horror writer, and seeing how the Yithians had no spoken word for themselves, the name stuck. While fossil records show primitive Yithians had tiny sucker-based legs at their base, modern Yithians use a form of short-range quantum teleportation to move, and this change has allowed them to expand into interstellar space. Their ships are grown from a bone-like substance that can slowly regenerate. They have become increasingly expansionist in recent decades, and their growth into inhabited star systems has led to interstellar conflict. To communicate orally with alien races, the Yithians have adopted an offshoot of Terran Hawaiian. Okay then. Let's see here. They are symbiotics. They are a gas giant. Home atmospheres methane, just like me. Gas giant methane. Society type of mechanics, also a lot like me. Originally a symbiotic union of a stationary, liquid-dwelling, barnacle-like crustacean and a free-swimming, amphibious, snake-like creature, the Yithian symbiote gradually evolved intelligence and grew to favor the freestanding, metallic hydrogen pools of its gas giant home. Modern Yithians have 19 agile tentacles in their upper half and a spiked chitinous cylindrical shell as their base. They prefer the gloomy, high-pressure surfaces of their gas giant homes, but they have adapted to other environments. They communicate purely visually, even with remote communications, and their language is a complex form of semaphore. Oh, interesting. Yithians have a hierarchical society where each individual and the group to which it evolves is ranked against its peers. Any Yithian can tell you instantly whether it's higher or lower ranked than another. The 19 highest ranked form the Collective Council, and the highest of all is designated Chancellor. Societal rank may rise or descend depending on the success of the plans and initiatives the Yithian proposes. Interesting. Well, let's see here. Abaddon Enclave. Let's see here. They are a republic. Let's see here. The Abaddon did eventually move out into space, but only after they were forced to. They were content to remain on their home planet with little interest in space travel. However, a devastating asteroid strike changed their minds. With half of their homeworld's population decimated, they devoted themselves to obtaining space travel. After many decades of arduous work, the Abaddon moved out into the galaxy. Behold the Abaddon. They are a gaseous form of life. They, of course, live on gas giants, and they breathe carbon dioxide. That's interesting. That's a very inert gas, so they might actually be So these guys might actually be photosynthetic. Well, I say that as a matter of course because something has to ionize and excite and give enough energy to break down the photosynthesis like plants do, because carbon dioxide is a remarkably stable molecule, believe it or not. And that is your nightly science lesson. It is 10:52 in the PM, and I just helped you learn something. Anyway, let's see. The Abaddon are one of the rare species to evolve on a gas giant planet. Yeah, they're so rare. That's like there's 3 of them in this galaxy so far. To evolve on a gas giant planet, their bodies are naturally quite flat and undulate to propel them through the swirling gases of their planet. Their eyesight is quite poor, but they have a form of natural radar that they emit to navigate. Their bodies are approximately 3 meters long, and they live about 90 years. Their skin is normally dark orange in color, but can change depending on their mood. The Abaddon Society is not really much of one. It contains no real structure, but is merely a collection of individuals who congregate as it pleases them. The fact that they can build and maintain starships has left many a scholar puzzled. They don't take much interest in material matters, but prefer their aerial artwork, which consists of convoluted vapor patterns created by their bodies as they move through the atmosphere. Interesting. The Suriwoa Alliance is a neutral party. Orange guys. Empire report the history of the Surwoa. I'm just going to call them Surwoa. Surwoa Alliance is mostly a peaceful one. The society never developed weapons of mass destruction, so their wars were quite limited. They have recently developed spaceflight, but have no knowledge of warp points. Their species name is the for the love of God, the Weoshuf. The Weoshuf. They're humanoids. They live on rock planets. They breathe methane, and they are artisans by nature. The Weoshuf are a humanoid species which are uniquely adapted to desert conditions. Their bodies are covered in a hardened orange carapace and can survive without water for almost 2 weeks. They have an average lifespan of about 110 years. Spliff. The Weoshuf are organized into a republic of large states which cover their homeworld. They are ruled by a premier who is elected every 12 years. Though they can sometimes be united with a common goal, their states are usually quite independent in their actions, which explains why they probably aren't that evolved. Or I should say, why they aren't that developed in terms of spaceflight. Let's see about the... Oh, thank God, the Adaro Society. Oh, thank you. Whew. The Adaro Society has had few relations with other species. Their aquatic nature has made spaceflight quite difficult. They have recently achieved travel to other worlds, but cannot transit warp points. Their species is the Ikuban. The Ikub is either the Kuban or Ikuban. I prefer Ikuban. They are a aquatic physical type. They live on ice worlds. Basically worlds possibly with like a crust of ice around the center, with an inner mega ocean in the inner mega ocean in the middle, and a solid space in top, or just a solid bit of frozen warm ice on the bottom. But whatever. They breathe methane. They have methanated oceans, and they are a society of engineers. The Ikuban are an aquatic species with 2 arms and a long tail. Their bodies are suited to aquatic environments, and they require the waters of their homeworld to survive. They live approximately 70 years. Well, that explains why they can't go very far, though. The Ikuban are a peaceful species that are mainly concerned with their own survival. Having evolved in an ocean with numerous predators, their society is devoted to the protection of their citizens. They are organized into small states with interaction merely for trade purposes. Okay, that limits them. And let's see about us. I mean, we're the same guys that we were in the last playthrough, but for those of you who are uninitiated, we are the Sholnok Gestalt. Our emperor name is Sholinar Tiempinar. Our government type is anarchy. We don't technically have a government. The history of the current Schulnach Gestalt is one dominated by genocide and technological innovation. Before means of planetary travel were invented, different gestalts of isolated Schulnesh would constantly form, and these populations would inevitably war with each other, resulting sometimes in the deaths of billions and the devastation of entire ecosystems. It was until recently, however, that a particular gestalt has developed an efficient means of mass transit and mass murder that allowed them to wipe out any and all competing collective identities. And it is to this warlike, technologically savvy group that the stars have begun beckoning. Our member races, only one, the Schulnach. We are symbiotic, we live upon gas giants, we breathe methane, and our societies are that of engineers. Let's see here. It's quite a bit here. Biology description. There's no such thing as a Schulnach within a group, or Schulnesh within a group, or Schulnesh. Individuals are themselves made up of several smaller species acting in harmony with each other. Some are symbiotic, others are not, yet are still considered crucial to the greater whole. Some are full sapient, others are just complex enough to feed and excrete. The interplay of these various organisms has puzzled many outside biologists, and a great deal of Schulnesh philosophy over the millennia has struggled to explain it as well. The average length of a Schulnach amalgam organism is about 4 meters, which can increase significantly with age. The average lifespan of an amalgam is non-existent. Schulnesh reproduce by partially splitting apart with their constituent organisms, engaging in a trigendered sexual reproductive cycle. This method essentially causes the Schulnesh engaging in it to cease existing, forming sometimes a dozen new individuals from 2 or 3 previous wholes, each with a new sense of identity but a shared set of skills. The Schulnach Gestalt, as its name would imply, society description. The Schulnach Gestalt, as its name I can't talk right now. The Schulnach Gestalt is, as its name would imply, a largely natural result of a large number of Schulnesh getting together and sharing a common socio-cultural identity. A great deal of physical contact between Schulnesh occurs at any one time, and since it is by this method that they communicate, it is also by this method that an individual amalgam is infused with the authority and identity to further the almost unconscious goals of the greater population. That's how they can do great works while at the same time remaining in anarchy. It's all basically a cascade of authority and power to a single amalgam that basically arises naturally. It can cease and stop at any one time, depending upon the whims of the greater whole. Individualism? Fuck that bullshit. We have important things to do. Like explore the galaxy, conquer our neighbors, and burn down their homes. Oh, Yithian homeworld, eh? Possibly the homeworld, I don't know. We're gonna see. Could just be a satellite planet. Satellites? Satellite planet. Gas giant, large facilities. Nope, this is the homeworld. They just have one world right now. That is puzzling. Anyway, E. You are all going to explore the universe, Batman. Sorry. That is my horrible Bane impression based upon Jesse Cox's horrible Bane impression. I apologize for nothing. Oh, this guy's out of supplies. Wait, how did that happen? Resupply the nearest. Just go. How are you still moving so quickly? With no supplies. T? What the hell happened to your supplies? I'm gonna have to check the goddamn records. Let's see. Explosive oh, there it is. An explosive decompression and an explosive decompression. An accident aboard Sextant 000002 and the Ashad systems caused it to expel its cargo into space. All of its cargo